Exciting week in the crypto market. We had Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. We had Ethereum finally breaking out. We had XRP hitting all-time highs. Shout out to the XRP army. We also had the Genius Act actually signed into law, the one that deals with the stablecoin regulations and things like that. So this was a very, very exciting week. I'm proud to be a part of crypto. I'm proud to say I told you so. Shout out to Da Vinci. I need to get one of them shirts. So we told everybody that the market was going to do this. We told everybody crypto wasn't a scam as a whole. And we told, and now we're looking sort of not like geniuses because retail kind of don't care, but in our heads, we can pat ourselves on the back and we can tell everybody that we were right so far. But what do we need to look at in the immediate short term, and what do we need to do in order to take advantage of the next inevitable run up for the crypto market? Stay tuned. What's up, cool kids? I go by FD White. Welcome back to the channel. So let's jump into the charts. This is why you are here. Let's jump into the charts. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 118,234. So I like what I'm seeing. I really like what I'm seeing. We did get a nice little dump to 116.9 yesterday. I like where we're at right now. It seems like we are starting to consolidate right at support or right at resistance. And I like the way this is forming. Even if we go on a smaller time frame and do something like that. I like what we're doing here at this 118.5K level. So what I would want to see that would make me very, very bullish in the short term is for us to, for us to get above here convincingly, hold that as support going into the weekly close / weekly open. If we can do that, I think next week we can make our way back up to that 120.5 to 121,000 level for Bitcoin, and that'll be our major line in the sand. Once we can get above that, all-time highs are coming in. We're going to reach 120, possibly 130, 125, 130, somewhere in that area. In my opinion, very fast. We do have the CPI, or not the CPI, the Fed rate decision on the 30th, I believe. So next week, I don't know what catalyst we have or what kind of things in the market. So possibly we can just strictly stick with technicals. And, well, you never know. Some announcement may come out. We got to see if the Clarity Act gets signed, the anti-CBDC Act gets signed into law. But for the most part, I'll have to see what kind of catalyst we have for the overall market. The following week, like I said, we do have the Fed rate decision to see what happens. And Jerome Powell is on the fence. He is on the fence. I haven't really heard anything from him personally about if he's going to step down, if he's going to retire or whatever he's trying to do. But I know Trump and everybody's trying to get him out. If he gets out, if they start to raise interest rates, lower interest rates, we're to the moon. We're to the moon in the short term. But right now, we need to focus on the right now, and Bitcoin is looking pretty good. I like where we're at. And let's look at this right here. And I'm looking at this symmetrical triangle for Bitcoin, and coming from this up move, coming from this this massive uptrend, this massive up move, I like our odds of breaking out. Right now, we're at the midpoint of this triangle. So I want to see what Bitcoin is going to do. Usually with these triangles, these type of patterns, it usually breaks out 70% before it gets to the apex. So the apex is the end of the triangle, or the point where both points touch, or both points meets. This is the apex. So it usually gets to about here, 70%. So 70% will be somewhere around Monday. So if we start to mosey along, maybe we come back here, we're going to look for something like this. Breakout retest 121, break down retest coming down to that 116 area, which we have confluence these price action right there between 112 and 116. We can stay between there and stay between this area here, which was our all-time high. Where's that? Our all-time high was it a week or so ago? So if we come down in here, we just want to stay in here. We don't want to lose this. We lose this, I think we're going back down to like 100K, just in my humble opinion. Not a fortune teller. I can't predict the future, but I really want to stay above 116. And if push comes to shove, all hell breaks loose in the short term, I want to stay above that all-time high we had for a couple of days at 112, which is, which was a major support resistance level coming back a couple weeks ago. So that's my Bitcoin analysis. Not really too much. Let's actually look at some indicators or some, let's go on the daily. So money flow is starting to curve down for Bitcoin. It is the weekend, volume is low, so I'm not going to take this too much to heart, but it is starting to curve down on the daily, meaning money flow is starting to curve out of Bitcoin on the daily. On the 4 hour, I usually try to keep in these high time frame money flow. Money flow is actually still curving down for the 4 hour, so we don't have a lot of buy pressure right now. It is Saturday, like I said, so we'll continue to monitor that. Next, let's talk about Ethereum. We don't want to keep you too long. Ethereum is looking good. So right now for Ethereum, the analysis is not really hard. The analysis is not really hard at all. We just need levels. We want to hold levels. I'm not like a lot of people come with all these different indicators, all these. We told the cool kids in the community in the Telegram, free Telegram will be in the link, and the link will be in the description. Just levels. Just levels. We had a $2,800 level. We said we get above 2,800, we're going to 3K pretty quick. What do? We morphed to 3K. We said if we hold this 3K, we're going to morph to 3,500. What do? We morph to 3,500. So now we look at these levels in reverse. If we lose this, let's actually draw it out so you can see it. If we lose this $3,500 level, of course we looking for some sort of a retest. We're probably going back down to 3K. And this would coincide with Bitcoin breaking down from that symmetrical triangle that we talked about just a second ago. So we'll continue to monitor Bitcoin because we know Bitcoin rules the market. Bitcoin tells everybody else which way to go for the most part. There's always some outliers. If Bitcoin dominance starts to fall dramatically and they go into altcoins, then that could be something different. But Bitcoin dominance is coming down, but it seems like it's starting to taper off and start to have some sort of consistency in its in the percentage. So we'll look at that in a second. But like I said, I'm looking for either 4K. I know it can go up or it can go down. Yeah, that's exactly. It can go up or it can go down. What we don't try to predict which way it's going to go. We let it tell. We let the market, we let the charts tell us which way it's going to go, and then we ride it. We don't try to get the whole move. We just need a chunk. We need a chunk. And if you're just trying to buy spot, if you're trying to just buy and hold, just buy and hold. You know, this video is probably not for you then. I'm talking about if you want to get better entries, if you want to trade. That's what this video is primarily about. So, like I said, it could go up, it could go down. Yes, but we let the market tell us what it wants to do, and then we act accordingly. We react. We don't act, we react. There you go. So we'll be watching to see what Ethereum is going to do. We will have a stop somewhere around 33.21, 33.25 area. But for the most part, I think if we lose this, I think something happens in the market and the market turns a bit bearish, maybe for a couple days, maybe for a week. I think we'll come back down to this 3K. We ultimately want to hold. If we zoom out, we ultimately just want to hold this 28. This $2,800 level is a huge SR level, support and resistance level. So this is the area that we want to hold, this $2,800 level, if we start to break down. But right now, like I said, Ethereum's looking good. The market's looking good. We were overextended going towards the tail end of the week. So it was inevitable that we got some sort of a pullback. Markets don't just go up forever. They do go up tremendously and they come down tremendously. Then they go up tremendously and then it might come down a little bit. And then they go up again and they come down a lot. So it just depends on how the market moves at that specific time, at that specific day. But for the most part, I think all these coins are going a lot higher this year, going into my thesis, going into the end of Q3, going into Q4. Lastly, XRP. Shout out to the XRP army. Shout out to everybody who's been listening to me over the past year where I said I'm going all in on XRP. I did have a little hiccup where I said I'm going to sell because I was like getting a little bit weary of XRP. It wasn't moving and then it just blasted off. So I did sell like 1/3 of my bag, but I put it in Bitcoin. So I'm not too mad at that. If I would have like put it in like something that just bled for the rest of the year coming into 2025, I'd be mad. But I put it in Bitcoin. You can never go wrong just buying or putting something, converting it into Bitcoin. So shout out to the XRP army, man. We finally did it. We got up to a high of about $3.67. And this was just massive. It just kept going. It really kept going. Like it broke out of this flat. And it just kept going. I had a price target coming in at $3, and then it kept going. And then we had this all-time high coming in at about $3.40, and then it just kept going. So now, just like we talked about Ethereum, just like we talked about with Bitcoin, we want to hold these levels. Of course, we blow past levels. We might chop through levels, but we want to hold the levels that we blow past. We want to hold the levels that we chop through. So we blew past this $3.40 area. So right now, we're sitting at about $3.39. So we want to hold this. Right now, we are forming some sort of a triangle, symmetrical triangle / bull pennant, just like on Bitcoin. So, I mean, if we blast from here, if something happens in the market and we start to blast again from here, I mean, XRP could potentially go to $4.10. $4.10. And that would be a massive move of almost 20%. We'll say 18 to 20%. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these trades because I'm trading over on Breakout Prop Firm. and I got $100,000 account. I can just show you really quick. I still have a $100,000 account that I haven't really traded yet because I need to be locked in because I don't want to blow this account. I need this account to change. I need this account to buy me a Cybertruck or S580 Benz or a new Range Rover. This is that account. This is what I want to buy with this account. So I was looking at a pump. We'll just talk about this really quick. This is my trade that I was looking for. I was looking for a pump breakout if the market would have remained bullish going into the weekend. I was looking for 60 cents. I was trying to make 80,000 off of this. That was my goal. I was going to go heavy. I was going to go hard. It was all or nothing. I was going to go heavy, but we started to break down. So I'm still watching pump. I think pump is going to $60 on its next run. So I think that'll be a major move that I want to catch. But for the most part, I'm watching Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and then I don't think it's time to like go down super down the risk curve. Right now, my rinse and repeat strategy is you can make a 2, 3, 4x with some of these higher cap coins, then play with the house's money when the market starts turning full bull. This is not full bull. If you're new to crypto, this is not full bull. When the market goes full bull, that's when animal spirits come out. That's when everything becomes super frothy and you go further down the risk curve and you can turn 1,000 to 100,000. You can turn 10,000 to 1,000,000. We're not at that point yet. I think it might come towards the tail end of the year. And what I like about what we're seeing at the market or out of the market is this whole cycle. The cycle has been kind of off. Even when it came to how Bitcoin moved, then it's usually Ethereum, then it's usually higher cap coin. It wasn't doing that. It was like Bitcoin, then it was like meme coins, and it was like AI, and then it was just like all over the place. What I like about this last move is that it was Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a massive rally. Then it was Ethereum. Then it was XRP, and some of those dinosaur coins started to move. So the market that we've been used to over the past few years started to play out. So if it can get back to its natural equilibrium or the natural path that it used to follow, it'll be a lot easier to navigate. It'll be a lot easier to make money. We want to make easy money. This is why I don't trade all day, every day, because I want to get in easy mode. If the market is in easy mode, I can make twice as much money in a month than I can make all year just trying to catch little moves here. Because crypto don't really move, but about 3 months out the year, it moves very hard. And then the other times it's going down or it's choppy. So we got to catch easy mode. This is easier mode, but it's not easy mode. I think easy mode is coming into Q3 going into Q4, and I want to be ready. But back to XRP, we don't want to lose this. We lose this, I think we'll go back down to about $3. Even just seeing how the market goes. Sometimes I like to pull, these trend lines and see how, what confluence comes in. So if we broke down, we'll have a one stop coming in at about 315, but I think $3 would be the main area to look at to buy if you want to accumulate more, or if you want to catch a lower risk, higher reward play out of XRP. But really, I'm looking at this move here to break out and go up to about $4.10 for XRP. I'm looking for a $8 to $10 XRP at the end of this cycle. It's not $50. These people are going to come with all these price predictions. Not $50, not $100. It's not going there. Not no time soon. Get you some real price predictions, some real price points to take profits, and some real, like, a lot of people don't know about crypto are going to start making these crazy price predictions about these coins that have like hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap. So be careful, and just, do your own research. That's all I can really say. Do your own research. I think you should be fine. Lastly, I want to talk about let's talk about this before we get out of here. I did want to look at this, the liquidation heat map, to see where we do have some sort of liquidity. So we have liquidity, like I said, at that 116. We have some coming in at 116.8. So somewhere between 116 to 117, we have hot areas of liquidity. So watch out for these areas here. And we do have some at the top coming in at 121, and then again coming in at about 122. So close to our all-time high. So the magic question, or the question that everybody should be asking themselves, is which one do we hit first? Me personally, I would love to come down here first, grab this liquidity, catch a longer or bigger long, and then go here, as opposed to trying to long from here. I would love to come grab this liquidity down here and then go back up to make our all-time, or go back up to test all-time highs, and then inevitably make new all-time highs at some point. So that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate everybody who's been watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit all bell notifications, because I will be dropping a lot of heat, a lot of fire. And like I said, I appreciate everybody who's been coming over to the channel, watching. giving me well wishes and saying keep going, because YouTube is hard. It's been hard. I've been making fire calls, and I don't think I got or garnished the respect I deserve in this space yet. But we're gonna keep pushing, keep shaking, keep moving, keep making money. That's the most important part. So this is FD White. I'll see you in a minute. Peace.